Good morning. Good morning. It is 3:01 a.m. I'm on my way to the gym right now. For those of you do or do not know, I ran my first marathon yesterday, and it was a half marathon, and I ran it in 2 hours and 9 minutes. That's 13.1 miles. And not to sound cocky or conceited, there was no doubt in my mind I could finish it non-stop. The only question remained was, what would be my time? But I'm gonna share with you the cool thing, the cooler thing than running a marathon is the type of people that you meet, the feeling you have for pushing your body to the limits, but what you observe. And right around the 1.5 mile marker, I came up on a very identifiable landmark to myself. Out of the 4,000 runners, 6,000 runners, none of them probably would have identified this landmark like I did. And when I seen it, I automatically started saying, look at God. Because this landmark was founded in 1995. And the landmark represents a place that I've never went back to, but I remember very fondly. And it was a little tiny, I use like New York terminology for like stores that aren't Circle K's or QT's, a bodega, where you can get everything from a loose cigarette all the way up to a ham sandwich, right there. Liquor, everything you need, right there. Movies, right there. And in 1995, I walked into that store, and it was the last place that I had freely stepped my foot at until I came home in 2006. It was a little tiny store. And what made that little tiny store so significant was one day in 1995, I had got up out of the bed from the place that I was staying at, and I wanted to get something to eat. I put this big 357 in my pocket, because for me, back then, in that era, it was wise to carry a gun. And when I entered into the store and I was standing in the line to get ready to pay for my stuff, and walked in two detectives, and a slew of police cars pulled up behind them. And they walked up to the line and they said, "Do you recognize this person?" And they pulled out a mugshot. And I had this real long hair, this real long Indian hair. And I knew it was me, and I said, "No, I don't know who that person is." They said, "Well, can you step out of line?" And I'll never forget when that detective got me down to the police station. I'll never forget him telling me, "You're going away for a long time." And he wasn't lying. Because they wanted to give me 30, 40, 50 years. who would have thought in 2020 I would have been running a half marathon through the streets where I was once being handcuffed at. And then as I got through the journey a little bit more and got through, I started noticing other things. Noticing there was older people out there giving it their all. There was younger people out there giving it their all. There were people who had handicaps going for it. There was a man who was carrying a log, a physical log across his back. And right next to him was a lady with a cast, a full leg cast on. And it got me so excited, because I knew at that moment there was no excuses. There was absolutely no reason everybody could not do it. And as I got a little further, there was rows of pictures. I'm talking about row, I would say at least a quarter mile of pictures of fallen soldiers who died in combat. And I'm looking at every single picture as I'm running by. Every different race, origin, ethnicity, age. And there was still never a reason why anybody couldn't do it. Then after I got past the pictures, this part kind of choked me up. I just seen a row of flags for about another quarter mile. And I thought about my son and how proud I am that he's serving in the military function in the Air Force. And how the same person who in 1995 was being arrested for a shooting was now running in a marathon, reflecting on his son that he just went to go see graduate from military basic training. And I kept thinking, look at how good God is. And I don't know if they could tell, but I was crying and I was running. And if you ain't ever did that, that's a weird feeling. Because there's two parts of your body that want to do two separate things. One is it wants to fall down and just go into a ball. The other is it wants to go all out war. And what this whole experience enlightened me to, you have to broaden your horizon. See, had I never run that, I would have never been exposed to the experiences. To the idea, the concept that it's possible. And that people get outside their comfort zone on a regular basis and they get out there and they make it happen. No excuses. And you know, me, I live by that no excuse lifestyle mentality anyways. But it's so frowned upon when somebody does start exercising their excuse meter. Well, why don't you have empathy? Why don't you have sympathy? Why don't you understand? Well, I understand. And now that I understand that it's fixable, what next? Because if you want to know what a real problem is, ask the man who was born at birth with no arms and no legs. See, you go to the extreme on the fact that you don't got enough money. I'll go to the extreme that this man and this woman don't have enough limbs. You'll go to the extreme that you can't go out and look for a job because you've had some type of physical ailment. But I'll go to the extreme and say this person has a physical ailment. They're out there running a marathon. No excuse. Except the one that we want to always give ourselves as a way out of not having to do what we know we must do. You will only see progress in your life when you have decided indefinitely that you will never make another excuse. And you will live by the theory and by the saying that the obstacle in the way becomes the way. There is nothing that can stop you. Nothing that can hold you back. The only thing stopping and holding you back, and once you come to this ultimate fact in life, is you will thrive like never before. And the only thing that is holding you back is you.